Godzilla Singular Point features a plethora of gigantic monsters from Toho's history. The new anime series from Netflix brought back a few old favorites who haven't been seen on the big screen or small screen since the Showa series in the 1960s and 70s. So it's great to see them finally get a chance to shine once again. The Netflix series versions are some of the most impressive that these characters have ever been, but contrastingly, some of them have also been incredibly weak compared to what fans are usually used to. Of course, the primary threat to the show's human heroes is its titular antagonist, but there are several other giant creatures that they have to worry about as well. So, having said that, here are all the monsters seen so far in the anime. Number 1. Rodan. Soaring proudly in the skies of Japan is this bad boy we all know of, Rodan. Now you can see it's pretty obvious that the Singular Point Rodans are quite small. Also, the radio wave monster, as it's called in the anime, seems to emit some form of radiation. From what we saw in the series, Rodan's radioactivity was caused by radon found in its body tissue, and interestingly, this incarnation of Rodan usually undergoes through 3 different forms. Oh yeah, you heard that right. And the first form retains Rodan's typical core design traits. That's being a big red pterosaur with dark-plated spikes on its chest, with the only difference being that Rodan is more pterosaur and less Rodan. See what I did there? Anyway, moving on to the second form, it's actually rather smaller than the previous form. Apart from being smaller, their tails too become shorter here and possess the traditional 2 crests on their head that we're so used to seeing in Rodan. As for its third form, we were introduced to the biggest one of these monsters flying in the anime when we saw a massive Rodan, almost as big as a large bus or truck. Now, that might not sound impressive, but this form sported a badass pitch-black monochrome color, additionally emitting a smoke-like substance around itself. Honestly, that form's got to be one of the nastiest Rodans that I've ever seen. Number 2. Kumonga and its variants, Kamanga, Henenga, and Zenbunga. Oh yeah, Godzilla Singular Point doesn't only have multiple Rodans, but also different variants of the 8-legged kaiju. That's Kumonga. Although, right off the bat, what you'd notice is that it's not the typical design language that we're used to, and rather seems to be inspired by another kaiju. That's the Megalon, to some extent. In fact, this version of Kumonga appears to be a hybrid of other kaiju. Take, for example, the Kamanga that seems to have acquired Gigan's blade hands and Kamakura's raptorial arms. As for the other forms, Henenga is basically a flying variant of Kumonga who seems to have insectoid wings. Last but not least, the Zenbunga displays all the properties of its counterparts, including the wings of Henenga and the blades of Kamanga. So you could call it the most ultimate variant of Kumonga in the anime series. Zen, indeed. Number 3. Anguirus. So the iconic Godzilla sidekick does make a comeback to make an appearance in the Reiwa era with Godzilla Singular Point. As it can be seen, Anguirus maintains its armored nature just like his previous incarnations, and those spikes look even more nasty with this guy here. Also, from the looks of it, the armored kaiju seems to have received a menacing update in Singular Point in the form of brand new powers. You see, Anguirus can now peer a few moments into the future, which isn't something he, nor any other Toho kaiju for that matter, has been able to do before. Plus, his spikes can also redirect ranged attacks, which makes this monster even more formidable. But one thing is worth mentioning though, and that's concerning his size. Singular Point Anguirus is one of the smallest versions of him that we've ever seen. But Anguirus is able to grow in size, the means of which are unknown. So it'll be pretty interesting to see as to how big he can grow. Number 4. Manda. The giant sea serpents are blue here and look way more dope than their previous Toho designs. The majestic mammoth-class snakes seem to resemble a goblin shark crossed with a pit viper instead of a traditional dragon. And that's not taken away anything, but rather made Manda look pretty unique. Not to mention that they're pretty massive. Also, just like the other monsters in Singular Point, there are in fact multiple Mandas present, and interestingly, these awesome-looking serpents are actually preyed upon by the overly impressive Godzilla around here. Number 5. Salunga. Salunga can be considered a new kaiju that's never been seen before. But the reality is that it's basically Singular Point's take on Gabara, with a little inspiration from Baragon as well. It's basically a green Gabara-Baragon hybrid, and the quadruped kaiju's nose seems to be carrying elements of the mandrill as well. So what Singular Point really did, though, was that they renamed Gabara Salunga, removed the silliness of the kaiju and replaced it with the fearsome visage of a powerful, agile creature that moves like a monkey. Also, Salunga turned out to be one of the strongest forces in the show, second only to the next monster. Number 6. Godzilla. Bear witness to a god. For the record, this guy here is easily one of the most terrifying-looking Godzilla out there, and is a beast personified as the hopeless future. A mythical beast whose existence was prophesied to bring about a global cataclysm when the seas were stained with red. Such is the reputation of this monstrosity and man. Doesn't he look menacing? What really got me into this incarnation of the Big G, though, was his ability to evolve like Shin Goji, as well as the ability to terraform. Let's also not forget the crazy regeneration of this Godzilla and the awesome blue halo he produces while firing his atomic breath. That's friggin' insane! But Godzilla was always meant to be this insanely powerful monster. And boy, Singular Point delivers. Number 7. Jet Jaguar. Godzilla may be in the title, but the show's actual star is Jet Jaguar. Yeah, you heard that right. After all, Godzilla is actually meant to be the antagonist in the anime series and basically a destroyer of the world. That's where Jet Jaguar comes in to save the day. The character was revived in a big way by Singular Point, with him acting in a capacity that's not at all unlike how he was utilized in Godzilla vs. Megalon, similar to his portrayal in the Showa film. Singular Point's Jet Jaguar is the hero of the story that the humans have to rest all their hopes on. Throughout the series, JJ has been continuously improved in response to the various kaiju threats that it faces. Although the turning point came after the protocol to make Jet Jaguar invincible protocol took effect. That's when Jet Jaguar experienced that huge growth, becoming several stories tall and was able to fight Godzilla toe-to-toe. Number 8. Mechagodzilla. Last but not least, we have the formidable anti-Godzilla weapon, the Mechagodzilla. Now, even though he hasn't been deployed yet, the scenario did reveal his design. A post-credit scene in the season finale reveals that the anime is introducing Mechagodzilla, presumably in Godzilla Singular Point Season 2. Godzilla's robotic doppelganger, as usual, includes finger rockets and other weaponry, one plus sharp claws for his destructive abilities. So Season 2 seems to be an even more interesting watch, and hopefully we get to see it soon. And with that, it's a wrap from this video. Hope you enjoyed it thoroughly. Thanks for watching. Now, if you want to keep watching more videos like these, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and smash the bell icon too while you're at it. This is Factaholic, signing off for now. Peace.